Right, we're recording. Look at that. Back to me, the happy Highlander. I'm sat here in my wee office. I was working in here this morning to do some of my Etsy. I set up an Etsy thing. I started doing it at the back end of last year, right through the winter. You know. And this is my wee office. I sit in here in the winter time because it's nice and warm. That cupboard there, that's got the hot water tank in it, so you don't need any heating in here. It's bra. So it means that I can keep the big front room nice and tidy, and then if anybody turns up Jack in a Box style, it's all nice and tidy for them. You see, and I can have all my bloody mess in here. I always keep the fire ready to rock and roll, so I can just stick a match to it and a lighter, and then that's nice and warm. So I was working in here this morning and just having a wee tidy up because I'm getting myself ready to move back into here, because in the winter time this is where I spend the winter months. It's a lovely wee room, and I've got some of my personal bits and bobs in here, bits of artwork and things like that. It's really nice. I've got a big smashing giant telly there. You can probably see all the DVDs behind me, Marvel and that. I love those Marvel movies, so I do. But I just thought I'd show you one or two of my bits and bobs of artwork, because one or two people have commented on, my silly nonsense that's in the garden, all my sculptures and things like that. So I thought I'd maybe just show you around and show you one particular piece that's it's no done, but I'll share my aspirations for the piece with you after you've seen what I can actually do. And right, so enough about me, and back to the stuff, the bits and bobs. It's a bit of a mess in here. I was in here this morning, but I'll spin you round, and then you can see some of my stuff. Well, you see that behind me. I'll show you that closer, but I'll spin you round. So that's a wee bowl I made. There's the lid. There's the base. You see. So it's something nice. It's no fixed yet, because all of these pieces are unfinished, or most of them are unfinished, and they're just in because I rough turned them. See that's to go to clamp it back on the lathe. Look at that beautiful, beautiful wood. Nice spalted. See that? Absolutely lovely. So that'll get fixed to there. Look at that. And then, you can maybe put sweeties in there or whatever you want. See, if I put sweeties in there, I'll hide it when my grandchildren come. And there's a lovely wee lid. Wait a minute. I'm trying to look at you and look at that at the same time. So what I'll do with that is I'll make a lovely wee finial for the top, like a lovely, a lovely handle for it. Maybe use some sort of black wood, some black with a bit of white in it, maybe. But we'll work that out. That'll be lovely. That there at the back was actually one piece, but that was in somebody's curiosity shop for 2 years, along with a lot of my other artwork. And I phoned the lassie up to say, well, you've no sold anything, hen, so thanks for trying. I'll come and get my artwork back. There was about maybe at least a dozen pieces, including this, which is 3 pieces in one, because I'll show you the other bit. But so that was one piece, but because anyway, I went back to get my bits and pieces, and that piece was smashed. It was completely ruined, so I had to cut it in half. And one other piece was smashed and ruined, and another piece she'd sold and didn't tell me. Aye, imagine that. Look, right, I'll show you the disappointment on my face. Do I look disappointed? I was very disappointed, because not only has she sold my piece and took my money, because I know she sold it for about nearly £500, but it's not the money, it's what was done as a person and how that'll affect that person that done that to another person. But more personally for me, when I make artwork and somebody is prepared to give me their hard-earned money for some shite that I've created, you've no idea how humbling that is. It's like a promotion that you never expected. It's a brilliant feeling. Like a fisherman, you sit there for hours just to wait to see your float disappear under the water. That's what you fish for, that moment, that thing. So that thing, when you sell a piece of art as an artist, when somebody's prepared to give their hard-earned money for your stuff, and the moment you find out about it, it's like that float going underwater. It's a magic feeling. So I was robbed of the money, and I was robbed of the magic. She's going to have to deal with that, but I'm not going to labour about that because I don't care. You know, I've had it back 10 times over because I don't react. I get it back. Anyway, so carry on. I met these two lovely lasses. They were artists, and I gave them a lift to my leg. They were where were they from? Lithuania? Somewhere? No, Czechoslovakia. And they gave me that as a thank you. They've been to Glasgow. That's lovely, isn't it? Very vibrant. Lovely lasses. So, right, a wee bowl I made. Look at that. That's a lovely wee bowl, isn't it? And you know, again, needs to go back on the lathe. There's a money tree in that. And apparently if you've got a money tree, you get money, but I think mine's is broken. I might need to change the batteries or something, because it doesn't seem to work. Then, this is other stuff that I make. Lovely bowls like that. You know, again, none of these are actually finished. See the bark on the edge, lovely live edge. Well, actually a living edge they call that, so they do. And that I made that. That's some of that, the ironwood they call that bit, and then that is plywood. So I laminated them together, and I thought that'll make a lovely, you know, one of the pulley things for your bathroom light. But it's awfully heavy. It'll probably just be permanently on or permanently off because it's quite heavy. But anyway, it's awfully nice. I just enjoy being on my lathe and turning things like that. Then inside the bowl, these are other things I make. I make these. These are, I'll put it here there. Then you can see. Maybe if I zoom out. That might be better, not sure. But these are antler tips. You see. So we get antler. You find it all over the place up here, of course. It's millions of deer. And they shed them in the late winter, early spring. And what I do, I collect them, cut the tips off, and then I give them a scrub, of course, and then I put them in a solution of bleach water, and that makes them lovely and white. My grandchildren, I've told them that they're dinosaur teeth, because I used to have a dinosaur when I was a wee boy. It was called Trevor the T-Rex, and he saved me one time, Trevor the T-Rex, because my grandchildren will tell you the story is true, so they will. At one time I didn't do my homework, but my T-Rex was special because he could breathe fire. So what he done, he set the school on fire so that I wouldn't get into trouble for not doing my homework. So I got away with it. But I make them, and that's the leather stuff, the leather rope to make the necklace with. So they're ready to rock and roll. And there's a couple of other bits and bobs I make. See the wee owl there? I make plenty of them. People love them. Wee snowman. Wee snowman. Just put a wee face on him, he'll be fine. These are wee mice that have not got their ears or their tail yet, but that's a wee memorial plaque I made for my pal, my friend Raymond. He was called Raymond Ross. He was an actor, and he was a Rolls Royce of a man. So I hand carved all that into a piece of olive wood, and we're going to go and put that where we scattered his ashes up the hill. Oh, God rest his soul. God rest his soul. He was a great guy. Loved him. This is a wee sugar bowl I made. I made that for myself. That's a piece of olive wood as well. Quite nice. And then I'll try and do this slowly so I'm not bugging it up. But then I made one of these wee scoops. You know, these scoops. I just washed it, so it's a bit wet at the tip. So you make sure it's completely dry, or the sugar all gets stuck to it. You know. Then this is a lovely piece of cherry. So that grew on the tree that way. You understand? So that's the bark. So that's it. So I turned that. That was actually the tree growing in my garden. And a big limb fell off. So I saved it, dried it out. And again, that needs to go back on the lathe. I'll show you why. See, that's the thing to hold it onto the lathe, clamp it on. But it needs polishing up. And when that's finished, it'll look like glass. Because I'll give that to somebody as a gift. Another wee bowl, same sort of thing. I can only use that for myself. I mean, I went too far. Where's it? There's a wee hole in it. Can you see the wee hole? This is a lovely bowl. This again isn't finished, but I really like the shape. It's a wee bit different. Beautiful detailing. Can you see? I'm trying. Sorry. Wait a minute. Try and show you this bit. Can you see that? Oh, lovely. Then this is quite probably my favourite bowl. I love the shape of that. You know, when you put these things on the lathe, they're that way. You know, and you don't really know what you're doing. Well, you know what you're doing, but you don't know what you're going to get. And look what I got. Is that no absolutely magnificent? See, there's beauty in death. Because when that thing died, that's a disease that wanted to eat it away and rot it into the ground. Look at that. There you go. Now, when I was talking about my aspirations, this one here, right, so the story behind this is that this was a Christmas tree, should have been a living Christmas tree that I was to plant in my customer's garden. This customer's a great guy. You've no idea. I can't really go too far with it, but he's a fantastic dude. Anyway, so my customer's wife, Adele, is Christmas crazy. She loves Christmas, everything about Christmas. She's literally the queen of Christmas, so she is. God love her. Anyhow, her mum bought her this as a Christmas present, and her mum's in her 90s. And so I knew the story. And it was my job to plant it in the garden. And as soon as I opened the pot, right, it was awfully tight and there was no fibrous roots whatsoever. The thinnest root was that there. And I knew it wasn't going to grow. I knew it wasn't going to survive, but I put it in the ground and I did say, and sure enough, I was right, because it is what it is. So the thing died, and because it was a gift to my best customer's wife off her mum, I felt a bit that way. So I thought, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to keep that, see what I can do with it. So I cleaned out all the mud. You can imagine it was packed with mud. Now look at it. In some way, it looks like an embrace. Can you not see it? It's kind of like an embrace. Something embracing something. Right. So, I hope I can explain this for you, but what I'm going to do, I'll move that out of the way. What I'm going to do with this is I'm going to put the whole thing, right, the whole thing in a big plastic bowl. Right. And some of you might have seen this on the YouTube. Just do a YouTube if you don't know what I'm on about, right? And then they flood the whole bowl. So that whole thing will be drowned in liquid glass casting resin, right? So you imagine, as I start to turn a bowl, right, so now it's all set, right? So that thing is frozen in glass as we take it out of the plastic thing. So the plastic thing's away now. And there we are. That's all in glass, right? And as I start to turn in here, right? And around this edge, what will happen is some of the wood will disappear and some of it will stay. And some of it it'll look like it's suspended in the glass. I hope you can understand what I mean by that. It's quite a challenge. I've never done it, certainly not on that scale before, because it's awfully big. I mean, if you can maybe get an idea the size of it, you know, it's quite a challenge. It's not an expensive thing to do, but I don't want to bugger it up. So that's my aspiration. Another piece of artwork I did, I got into, you know, a bit of that fluid painting. There you go, like that. That's an original Franksy. They christened me Franksy when I came here on account of things like this. Aye. Feel free to pause it and take a screenshot, print it off, hang it on your bloody wall. With my blessing, my friends. Aye, there's a wee wall sconce I made. Like that. I like that. So what I'm going to do with that, because it's broken, I'll show you the other two bits. I'm going to router out. I'll shift that. What I'll do with my router is I'll take a big circle out of there. Same with that one. A big circle. Go quite deep. Put a wee pin in it, and then you can put a big church candle. So can you imagine there's a church candle in that one and that one? That'll be lovely. So all is not lost. This here, this was a root ball. It's gone a wee bit yellow, and the reason for that is, right, so this was a root ball. The guy asked me to get rid of the plant that was in this big planter that his wife wanted to take, and it was an estate I used to look after on the other side of the water there. And anyway, as I took it out, I went, whoa, look at that, that looks smashing. I mean, it didn't look as quite as smashing as it, but I could see what it could be like. So I took it out and I clipped and I washed it and got all the, you can imagine, I mean, this is roots, so it's just millies of mud in between all of these wee sticks. And anyway, I washed it, persevered, I had to let it dry out, because fortunately it was summertime, so I let it dry out on a brick wall, a big dry stone wall, and I kept shaking the mud out of it, doing that over and over and over again. Then once that was done, I washed it, jet washed it, trimmed it, and then I put it in a tray, and I flooded it with varnish. That would seal it, and it would also sort of glue it together. So next job with that, get rid of the yellowing. It'll all get painted white, but it'll still have that black running through it, you know, that sort of distressed look. And then inside there be a mirror. That'll be a beautiful bathroom mirror, because it'll be a lot whiter, you know, it'll pop better. So this piece here, this is something that I actually made for myself, and it's in commemoration to a day I spent driving my car. I came out of the war. I was doing some sort of contract work, let's say, out in the Middle East when we were at war. And anyway, when I came out of that, I bought myself a smashing car, and it had an X Formula 1 engine in it called a Judd 10. So my car was like driving an angry wasp. It was absolutely fantastic, man. I absolutely loved it. So what I've done there is kind of try and make it look like tyre tracks. You know. You like the sound effects? Right, so what I've done with that, you know, how you make that is you use your router. Carve in. Get your shape with your router. Carve in. And then get your blowtorch and burn it. I mean really, really burn it, right? Then get your jet washer. Don't use a wire brush. Don't ever use a wire brush on this technique. Many of you might know this technique. Don't. Get a jet washer. wash all that burnt off, right? That'll stop you scratching the in-between bits, because they will stand out at the end. Then you burn it again, right? Wash it all off, let it dry out. And what I did with that was I put gold, and I put some gold and I put some silver in with the yacht varnish that I put on the top of it, high gloss. So that's my tribute. Because that day, well, when I started doing these things, I made loads and loads of them. And I thought, well, I'm going to make one for me. And that was in commemoration of one particular day. It was a summer. And I was taking a year off from work. I thought I was going to drive my car tomorrow, summer, red hot. And got myself up on the road at 5:30 in the morning. And I drove my car hard and fast all day long. Anything that wanted to race me, I did. And I encouraged it. And I met some great guys with the Subaru Imprezas. And I, in fact, that day, I met another guy with the same style car of mine, but a different model. And I looked at we looked at each other, of course, you know, we got the same car. And I said, come on, will we entertain the people behind us? And we did. And we set off, and oh God, it must have been great for them, you know, all the smoking. So anyway, that's it. That's the one to commemorate my my smashing car. That's the other two from the one that got smashed. They're really nice because they're pointy ways on, which is very different. Never seen anybody do that before. See, done the same sort of technique, just a different wood, so it doesn't get quite as corrugated as the other one. That was so nice, eh? See that there? That's an exact replica of the gun, my favourite weapon that I had when I was out doing my thing. It's made from a company called Ghost Guns, and my pal got me that for my birthday, my 50th. Just, you know, it's great because the clip comes off, you can fire the trigger, and the iron sight works and everything. It's great. You can strip it right down like you could with a real one. That's some cowbells I found in the Middle East. And then this here, that bit there, right, that was found in a cave in the Middle East. That's a wee coat hanger I made. I made it look a wee ghosty guy. Look, you see, bit of brass. That was where there was a knot. It was like a wee cartoon ghost. Look, ooh, that's him. Another wee wall scones. Aye, that's my bits and bobs. Hope you like that. There you go. So well, I hope you enjoyed that. That's some of my bits and bobs that I make. And I'm going to be making more of this. I think I'll just have a wee dram with you. Well, fancy join me for a wee dram? I'll make some more of these because I spent ages on the computer this last winter. 3 months making this Etsy and using the AI and different bits and pieces and that. And I made this print on demand business. And I sold loads of stuff all over the world. It was amazing. But I didn't make any money. I didn't make any money. I think I might have broke even if I'm being fair to myself, but I probably didn't. Probably lost some, a wee bit. So anyway, I pressed pause on it, you know, and it takes a lot of dedication, all that stuff. So I was working in here on that this morning. But the point in showing you this is the sort of thing I'm going to start selling. I mean, it's not a plug. It's just because I've got millions of new pals on the other side of this smashing wee phone that my wee mammy bought me. And just wanted to share it with you, let you know what's coming. You know, might like it. Maybe we'll see what happens. Chin chin. Well, enjoy the rest of your evening. I better go and get my bloody pizza out of the oven. It's 9:30. I've not had my dinner yet. Right. Hope you enjoyed that. God bless each and every one of you.